So there's a lot of stigma around online courses. Frankly, most of them are scams, they're done for the wrong intentions, and they hurt a lot of innocent people. So with that glorious backdrop, you may be asking, why in the heck do you sell online courses, Adam? Well, in this video, I'm gonna be fully transparent. I'm gonna open up the hood of the car and explain why I sell an Amazon FBA online course. What's up, guys? If this is your first time here, this channel is Heist, where I deep dive every single Monday into how to scale and grow Amazon FBA and e-commerce businesses. And in addition to that, a couple years ago, bored during COVID, I decided to flip on this camera that you're watching me on here and just share my journey on building physical products businesses. Back when I did that, frankly, I just really didn't like what was on YouTube, what was in the Amazon FBA ecosystem from the vast majority of people. And again, I was bored, didn't have anything else to do. So I flipped on the camera. I'm like, look, I'm just going to start talking once a week. I'm going to do it for a year with zero expectations. Worst case, I will have wasted a year and maybe learned a thing or two. But what came out of that about a year or so in is I launched an Amazon FBA course. I'll drop a link to that launch video if you're curious how that all went down. Look, I'm not an idiot. There's a ton of stigma around selling stuff online, specifically in the money-making or business building niche. And for good reason. People flash Lambos up. A lot of people don't actually do what they're selling. They take advantage of innocent people and they charge them thousands and thousands of dollars to do so. So I struggled a lot with whether or not I would do it, and ultimately decided it made sense for the reasons I'm going to break down in this video. The first reason, and I think one of the most important reasons, is this concept of a cash versus an asset business. Now look, like 80% of my time, energy, passion goes into building brands, finding products, developing them, manufacturing them, shipping them, managing the operations, and ultimately selling them to real people online. It's super fun. It's a crazy, awesome business model, and I really just love it. It's my life's work. But there's a really big problem with these businesses. Despite the fact that you can start them for a pretty small amount of money in the grand scheme of things, is they're basically asset rich, but cash poor. And what I mean by that is you're buying inventory, oftentimes 3 to 4 months worth of inventory that you sell over time. So you've got cash that goes out, and even if you make good money and you're finding success, you actually have to continue to buy inventory before you've got cash for it. So you might have really good earnings, you might have really good revenue, but you may not be able to take any money out. And one of the big goals for me with starting this journey was to leave my executive day job and not have to work a 9-to-5 job and spend time in meetings and all that stuff. But you can't take money out for a very long time, especially if you're growing with these businesses. And I faced that challenge. So I had this really successful business. A lot of this knowledge is what I wanted to spend my time on. I didn't want to drive into work, but guess what? I couldn't take money out of it because I needed to pay for inventory. So I was stuck in my day job. And in fact, the only dollar I've ever taken out of all of the physical products brands I've been involved in is when I sold my first brand. Otherwise, we're just dumping money back in to buy inventory to scale and grow. So you have this real conundrum. You're building potentially $1 million or multi-million dollar business, maybe even an 8-9-figure business. But until you exit it, or until you get to a real good terminal velocity where you're spitting off enough cash to pay for inventory and pay for yourself, you're stuck in a day job. About a year into my journey, a little bit before a year into my journey on YouTube, I realized, hey, I've got another avenue here where I can get out of my day job. I can still build these physical products brands and I can not take money out of them so I can scale them. And there's a bunch of ways to do that. You can contract, you can do hourly coaching, you can consult with brands. Those are all very viable, again, service-based businesses. But the problem with those is that you've actually got a time constraint. You've got to actually do the work to get paid. So for me, I had the power of an audience, and I had an opportunity where if I put my head down for a solid 2-3 months and built out a course, I could leverage that into additional income while still building my brands, which also helped build and grow the course benefit to my students. The second reason I built an online course is leverage. A Twitter thread that has literally changed my life is Naval Ravikant. He's got a thread called How to Get Rich Without Being Lucky. That's actually what inspired me to do YouTube in the first place before I even thought about online courses. It literally is one of the most powerful ways to look at the future of work, the future of making money, and the future of living life on your terms. Now, he's got 39 points, all of which are good, but I'm just going to go through some of the ones that had the biggest impact. So the first is number 4. You're not going to get rich renting out your time. You must own equity, a piece of a business, to gain your financial freedom. 5, you will get rich by giving society what it wants, but does not yet know how to get at scale. Again, the power of media, the power of creating videos, the power of YouTube. 6, pick an industry where you can play long-term games with long-term people. When I first got bit by the Amazon bug about 5 years ago, I was like, man, this is the best thing I've ever seen and discovered. It's incredible. And it got me excited. And still every single day today, even if there's challenges and sometimes it sucks, and I can see myself doing it for a long, long time, and the people that I work with, the The people I've become friends with in the space, they have the same mindset. Point 8, play iterated games. All the returns in life, whether wealth, relationships, or knowledge, come from compound interest. 12, arm yourself with specific knowledge, accountability, and leverage. Again, this is a very niche industry, the Amazon FBA space. And if you become obsessed with it, there's very, very few people in the world that understand what we understand and what we dive into. And by sharing this publicly, by testing my ideas publicly, comes accountability. And with those two things combined, in addition to this YouTube channel, comes leverage. So I just really love that point. 14, specific knowledge is found by pursuing your genuine curiosity and passion rather than whatever is hot right now. Again, if you're bitten by the Amazon bug like me, this stuff's just freaking fun. And when it's fun, it feels a lot easier, even in the face of challenge, work, and adversity. 15, building specific knowledge will feel like play to you, but will look like work to others. 17, specific knowledge is often highly technical or creative. It cannot be outsourced or automated. Again, this kind of work of doing videos, of sharing ideas, of testing ideas, of talking about them publicly, this is like my creative outlet. This is my art. I mean, it wouldn't be easy for a lot of people to do. In fact, it would probably scare the shit out of a lot of people and they wouldn't want to do it at all. But I find it fun. It taps into my zone of genius. And again, it's specific knowledge that's really tough to replicate. 18, embrace accountability and take business risks under your own name. Society will reward you with responsibility, equity, and leverage. Again, turning on this camera, sharing my ideas, sharing things about my business, sharing things I'm scared about, being vulnerable, being wrong a lot of the time, that's scary. But I think that accountability people can see. And when you live your life that way, it builds trust. It's a funner way to live life. And ultimately it becomes an asset that you can scale if and when you decide to monetize. 21, fortune requires leverage. Business leverage comes from capital, people, and products with no marginal cost of replication. So again, I can create a video that might get 1,000 views for 2, 3, 4 years, and I just did it once. I can create a course for 3 months, iterate on it, make it better over time, but that original foundation can pay dividends over time. I can't code. I'm not a programmer, so media was my outlet. On a related point, 27, if you can't code, write books, blogs, record videos, and podcasts, what I did. 36, become the best in the world at what you do. Keep redefining what you do until this is true. I don't think I'm the best YouTuber on e-commerce in the world. I don't think I'm the best, most knowledgeable in Amazon FBA, but I think I can be. And I bust my ass. It motivates me. It keeps me sharp. It gives me a consistent carrot that I can chase to be the best that I can with the knowledge I learn and with what I share. So that's a huge motivator for me. And then finally, 38, apply specific knowledge with leverage and eventually you will get what you deserve. So this whole thesis from Naval Ravikant inspired me to start this media YouTube channel, and it ultimately inspired me to parlay that specific knowledge and what I'd done over that year doing stuff for free and selling an online course. So the third one, and honestly, I struggled with this one, but I said I'd be transparent in an open book on why, but third reason was spite. You know, like most of us, I started on YouTube discovering Amazon, how to do it better. I bought a number of different courses from a number of different people, some of which are still very publicly known. And frankly, I just thought that a lot of the stuff sucked. Not all of it, not all the people, but I thought that their intentions were wrong. I thought that their material was really, really weak. I didn't think that they knew what they were talking about. And I thought that they were literally just trying to make money selling courses. So a lot of the reasons why you don't like courses, I felt the same way. So I was like, you know what, damn it, I've got a different perspective. I'm going to do it in a way that I think is better. And then the final reason, which is actually a positive one, is impact. And this isn't bullshit. You know, a lot of people say, I want to help people. I want to change lives. It's cheesy, it's cliche, and it sounds dorky when you say it, but that was really it for me. I was talking with a buddy of mine, Tom Wang, who's also in the space recently, and we're kind of shooting back and forth about how things were going. And, you know, I said, I feel like I discovered a glitch in the matrix. Like, I can't believe that this works this way in the universe, and it changed my life. It's like when you discover that, I'm not a religious guy, but it's almost like if you were to discover religion, I would imagine it's like you want other people to realize that too. And so for me, sharing my journey, sharing what works, sharing a course that I think helps people get to the next level is really kind of a life's work for me. If I can get other people to realize what I realize, even if it's a handful or a small percentage of total, that's a pretty cool, meaningful way to impact the world around me. And there's really 3 goals that I've got in life. I kind of think about goals in 3 different quadrants. One is like the experiences that I want to have. The second are the accomplishments that I want to have. And the third is impact. And I think the biggest way with my skill set, with what I enjoy doing, with my specific knowledge, with my passions, with my leverage, both with this free YouTube channel as well as the course, is to try try to impact other people and let them realize in their own way a similar journey to me, which is building, growing, scaling a business that lets people live life on their terms. So don't know if that satisfied your morbid curiosity, but those are the 4 reasons why I built an online course, in part why I actually build this YouTube channel and put in work to do these videos every single week. I should also note, because how could I be an online course seller without plugging and selling some shit, which I try not to do very often, is I do a sale once a year on my course. I'm going to leave a link down below if you want the opt-in for that. It's going to be basically Black Friday week. Do it once a year, don't do it a lot. So if this channel's tickled your fancy, if my course tickles your fancy, go ahead and fill that info out. I'll notify you when it goes live. And if you're watching this video after the fact, I'll have a lander there if you need more information and want to stay in contact. So thanks for sticking around, guys. As always, awesome having you part of this community. It's awesome you contributing to this part of my life, and I'm happy to share it and hope it helps you on your journey as well. Cheers, guys.